That was clean.
That was absolutely clean.
But what's up, guys? It's the 13th episode.
The
14th episode.
13th.
Oh, I thought
No. 14.
14. Yeah.
We're on episode 14, which is crazy.
Over a
We started
decade
this-
of podcasts.
Over a decade of podcasts. That's like one a year.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
much
how
I
we do it.
suppose.
We get 5 views on each one every year.
Yep.
Trying to grow the listeners.
So we're gonna talk about a lot of deep stuff this time, guys.
Deep
We're gonna
thoughts.
get weird.
Stop.
We're not gonna get weird. But actually, before we start, I want to say sorry about last time, guys. I was unfortunately on a
Unavailable?
yeah. I was on a business trip, so
Business
I couldn't
trip.
actually make it. But you know how it is sometimes.
No, you're good. Anyway, but this time we won't have Noah with us. It's just gonna be me,
Thank God.
your boy
Joking.
Brandon, and
Your boy,
Kevin,
Kevin H.
your dogs. Anyway, so we're gonna get going on this this podcast, talking real slow to start. We're a little tired, but we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're chilling.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about this time, so
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it'll
for
warm
sure.
us up.
So, number one,
On the list.
how are you? No, I'm just kidding.
How are you listening
I
to
don't
this
care
video
about
right now?
No.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment below. Also, please subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, please, get ready.
Okay, get into it.
Get
bro.
ready.
Get into this.
Get ready
Let's
for
see
this.
what we got to unpack.
Anyway, so we were just talking about this actually. We were talking about how a lot of people have mob mentality, and like, so what I mean by that is when people are going to research stuff that they're interested in, and that this is true for me as well. Like, I did this a lot to start the podcast. Like, I didn't research everything I was looking into enough, and I've been doing that more and more just to make sure that I have everything right.
Yeah, and I think that just that doesn't even normally like necessarily fall under like the mob mentality, like umbrella, I guess, you know. But I think just anything like not like I think politics is a good example of this, but and it's not like any certain side or anything's guilty of it. It's just whenever you see something, it's like that positive bias, you know. If it's something that supports your claim or like your ideas,
Mm-hmm.
then it's likely you're gonna believe
Yeah.
that without even like researching it. And everyone's guilty of this, you know. It's
Yeah,
not just,
I mean, it's like everybody wants to be reassured of what they believe.
hmm
So when they see like an article with like a Dr. Jekyll saying that
Peter Popoff.
Pastor Peter Popoff with his miracle water.
But I think
Yeah. When we get into like researching, you need to make sure that you're like looking at both sides. You're looking at the arguments of both sides, and you need to try to find like unbiased research for it, because like
which is hard nowadays.
you know, like mainly this applies to like researching for jobs and stuff like that. So like for me and Kevin, we're really interested in like the creative side of the internet, like
Yup.
YouTube, podcasting. This is why we started this.
SoundCloud.
Or it's SoundCloud. Yeah, we're really interested in the creative, like getting our ideas out there for all this stuff, and like we're researching the best ways to do it. We're researching like stuff to talk about with you guys on the podcast, and a lot of it is biased because like a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is slightly controversial. I know Noah likes to talk about like politics stuff. Yeah. And a lot of those articles will be like not like they're gonna be what somebody believes,
Yeah.
and not like every single piece of information.
And I think that this too ties into like going out of your comfort zone especially when it comes to like research or like gaining knowledge on anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a big part of coming out of your comfort zone is realizing like not everything is how you see it as, and a lot of people in their lives like don't even have that disconnect, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like it's
I mean,
evident
like,
when people grow up, it's like it's crazy, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find like an unbiased. Like you just gotta like put in some work to find unbiased things, articles, research. for what you want to do, and that kind of leads into something else I want to talk about, like creative jobs. Like I feel like they're becoming more and more popular. There's more and more creators like on YouTube, and there's more and more creators on stuff like Twitch, like all that kind of stuff. And I just think that it's really, really cool that people are going and following their passions in like this way. It's pretty much like self-employment.
Mm-hmm.
They're making so much money off of this stuff, and it's really, really cool.
It's a very small selection though. It's hard to break out on stuff like that nowadays.
It is, because there's so many.
Yeah.
But I think if you can like find, like, you can research into it, and you can find like the best possible ways to do it,
mm-hmm.
and to like gain an audience and stuff like that, you could definitely have a job like that. And that's so cool. That's so interesting to me that you can just go and do what you think about all day. Like if you,
as your job.
Like I don't think about this all day, but a lot of people play video games all day.
I think about this all day.
Fortnite all day, 24 hours a day.
I think that oh crap, I had something to say just now.
All right, I'm gonna finish up with what I was going on.
Okay.
So if you can, like, if you think about that all day, and you can apply that to like a job, like I talked about it on the last podcast about how you're supposed to have like 3 different hobbies, one that's like creative, one that makes you money, and then one that relates to your career. You can even mix and match those. Like
mm-hmm.
you could make like your career and your money be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people do that.
2 birds with one stone, right?
2 birds with one stone.
I think it's important that people realize that no matter what you're interested in life too, there's other people out there that are the same exact thing, you know. And if it's like, even if it's like a small little like niche thing, there's people that are interested in the world.
Yeah,
it's like you're not alone. So if you try and like seek out that like market, that area of people that are interested, you can do whatever you want, you know. I don't think there's like a strict guideline that you have to do something like professional and like something like that, because nowadays you can be so creative with your jobs and stuff. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I was just thinking that you can also contact, since you won't be alone in what you're thinking, because there's no one person that's the same in the world, but there are people that are interested in the same things as you. So if you wanted to look more into doing something, you can definitely contact somebody on like how to do it. Like Reading Mastery and stuff has been like really great for learning all this stuff, to like find like a mentor, like find people to look up to,
finding your passion, finding the best knowledge possible available to you. I mean, it's also easy nowadays with the technology we have, but it's like crazy how back in the day you'd have to like go around, and it's like really hard to find a mentor like that. But nowadays you can just look it up on Google and stuff, and there's so many resources out there now that it really isn't like even hard compared to like, I'm assuming, how it used to be, right? You know, trying to find other people that are interested in what you're doing. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot more access to those like those specific things that you want to do. And yeah. Yep.
We're gonna end it on that. See you guys.
No. So yeah, I'm always really interested in learning new things, and like expanding my knowledge on stuff. I've been trying to learn some like better video editing and audio editing, so we can get some cool stuff going for the podcast.
Maybe on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe on YouTube.
If you guys are interested, that'd be sweet.
We're gonna check it out. We're gonna start like looking into stuff that we would maybe want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like we said before, we are in the process of getting our podcast on Apple Podcasts, which would be awesome because a lot of people don't want to. That's going to expand our audience. Yeah, it's definitely going to expand the audience. Plus, it's going to hold retention time, I feel like, because like YouTube, you have to keep the app open.
Yeah, which is super annoying, and no one wants to pay for YouTube Red. YouTube Red sucks, dude. It's like so
you can close the app.
It's like $7 a month, bro, and it's literally, YouTube is just it's a bad company. It's a terrible company, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's absolute garbage. Absolutely terrible. No, actually, when I said garbage, I remembered something else that I wanted to talk about.
Pollution.
pollution. Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes. No. No.
All right, take it away, Brandon.
Yeah. So, I was thinking recently more about, like, how you talk to yourself, like self-talk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked about it a few times on the podcast already.
Yeah. They are, like, if anyone, people have heard it, so we don't need to cover it all again.
No. But I'm just gonna like go quickly over it. It's literally how you talk to yourself. Like, a lot of people will consider themselves like not as good at something that they're actually good at, and they'll over examine everything and start telling themselves that little thing isn't good enough, and then it'll become more like the entire thing isn't good enough.
Yeah, and I think self-talk helps with another skill that I think is really important in life, and it's keeping your cool under pressure, regardless of a situation. I think that's one of the most important skills you can have in life, because when it comes to that time, right, I mean, you can prepare yourself as much as you want, depending on, like, it's so many different situations that this is beneficial in. Like, if it's trying to get a promotion or something, right, and it's like a competition, like, or like a sport or something like that, right, being able to perform under pressure and give your best, no matter what it is like a very important skill in life. And I think that self-talk is a major part of that, because it's easy to tell yourself,
it's easy to hear yourself, instead of talking to yourself.
Yeah, you can hear yourself constantly when you're in a situation that you're maybe out of your comfort zone, or maybe you feel nervous for. It's easy to hear yourself saying, I can't do this, and doubting yourself. And maybe it's not even like just like saying I can't do this, it's just like subtle
I don't
things,
know if I can do this,
just like slight doubting yourself,
something like out of my reach.
Mm-hmm. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done
knowledge-wise
this or something. Yeah, and if instead of in that situation, if you just tell yourself, I can do it.
Researching more. Research
is everything.
Research is everything. School got it right.
But yeah, I think it's a really important skill, guys, and I think self-talk is important as well.
But like more recently, I've been like, everybody our age doesn't like school. They don't like to like go in and learn stuff that they're not going to use. Mm-hmm. But you can pretty much find a way for everything to be used.
Mm-hmm. And it's how you interpret it,
That's what I've been practicing more and more every day. Going to school, I have longer days now because I just had to take more credit hours to just keep up with my graduation schedule, leading up to it. And with those long days, I'm just getting so tired and worn out, and it's tough. It's super tough, and even with people who don't have the longest of days, but it's long enough to put you down a little bit because you feel like this isn't working for you, or you feel like this isn't for you right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy when you're thinking like that it's really easy not to be 100% present and taking in everything, because you're like, wow, this really, really sucks and I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But if you interpret it differently and you're thinking, oh, I want to start a business, so I'm going to have to sit through long business meetings that I'm really bored in. I'm going to have to sit through all these countless times when I'm super bored, but it's for my job, right? That's a way to interpret that, thinking, I mean, you're not, instead of just thinking, oh, I'm wasting my time, I think that it's always beneficial to think like that.
I honestly, I wouldn't even go that route. I would say that you should practice learning different things in the class, not sitting through it, because obviously you can't sit through those important business meetings, and that goes to the under pressure thing. You got to work well under pressure and find the right things to do in each situation.
Yep.
But a lot of times the right thing to do in each situation is expanding your knowledge, and going into those classes that I'm super bored in, I've been finding more things about it that are interesting to me, and I think that are creative and that I can apply to myself and my hobbies
and what
my
you're
career.
Doing right now too.
Yeah, to podcasting. I have a couple writing classes right now. I have the basic writing class that is actually super interesting because my professor's awesome, and I have a creative writing class, which is actually poetry and stuff, and I think it's really awesome. We've talked about the state of flow before.
Yeah,
on the podcast.
Mihai, she sent Mihai.
What?
That's his name. The guy made flow.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck? I just thought you said a bunch of gibberish.
I don't know why I remember that.
No, it's awesome to like learn like how to be more creative, like expanding your mindset towards like being there and like in the present,
yeah.
in the moment, and you're working like at 100%. You guys know the feeling when you like get excited to do something and you like want to go and do it right then, and while you're doing it, you're still excited.
Mm-hmm.
That's the state of flow.
Yeah, and also I think that not even like maybe not talking about so much the state of flow, but like being present.
Mm-hmm.
I think being present is so helpful in so many situations. Like when you're building a relationship with a person, like if it's like a new person you're meeting,
Mm-hmm.
like giving them that full attention and being present in the moment is like it's like a deeper understanding of people, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that goes a long way, and just in communication and like
Mm-hmm.
if you're like reading
yeah.
body language and stuff, you know,
100%.
like, it goes to a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I've been practicing more with that. So tying flow back into what I was saying is like I'm in the creative writing class, and I have that mindset of like I can't believe I'm here right now like in this class. Like I'm not super interested in poetry or anything or English of any sort.
Yeah.
But I've been sitting in that class and I'm like, wow, that I can actually learn like a lot from this. Like I can learn how to be more creative on a normal basis and like expand my like feeling of flow. Like
Yeah.
if I can get that on like a normal basis, that would be like amazing.
Well, that's what mastery is about.
Yeah, I know. Like I want to use like the book. I want to use my classes now. Like that's what I'm saying to you guys. Like I've been trying to expand my mindset towards the sense of flow
Mm-hmm.
through my classes.
And that's beneficial, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's super beneficial. So like instead of like sitting through these business meetings, sitting through class, you can be expanding some other type of thing. Like you can expand like how you talk with other people. You can like have conversations, you can meet new people, you can talk to people that you never talked to before and just see what they're interested in and like just connect with them on like a deeper level than you usually would.
because like no matter what situation you're in, being able to like understand people and talk to them and like give them your full attention and stuff, especially when it comes to like the career environment and like jobs and stuff,
Yeah.
is such a like useful skill. And that's something that can be practiced in almost any situation, you know, like unless it's like something like very oddly specific where you're not allowed to talk and stuff, you know. It's,
Yeah.
It's just otherwise I think a lot of situations you can practice that.
Yeah, well, even if you can't practice that, like I've been practicing flow instead. So like you can find something else that you can practice. You can expand your knowledge in one thing, or you can even like bring a book and like if it's that boring and like it actually like literally will not apply to you ever, just go ahead and pop the book out.
Or you could start meditating in class and then go on to...
Actually, I've seen somebody start floating midair.
Yeah, you can start floating, and then you can go onto your astral plane in like a whole different dimension.
This went too far. This podcast is just going off the rails right now.
If you meditate
we're
hard
renaming
enough,
it Off the Rails.
Off the rails. I like
Off
that.
the Rails podcast.
But listen though, if you do meditate hard enough, you can see into the future, and you can know what's gonna happen. Anyways, guys.
That was powerful.
That was powerful.
That was
This
powerful.
is what I get paid the big bucks for. Support our Patreon, by the way. Support our GoFundMe. Please.
Please stop. My family is...
Please.
My family's falling apart.
I'm starving. I'm starving. I haven't eaten in a week.
Oh my
They
goodness.
won't let us monetize our videos, guys. We need more listens.
Dude. This is just getting sad.
This is, dude.
This is really off the rails now.
We're off
Oh my
the gourd.
goodness. So yeah, like the last thing I want to tie into is like going from like we started. I'm just gonna do a quick run through because obviously, like it's a longer podcast, so you might get a little bit distracted.
Yeah.
So I just want to tie back everything I said and go into my last point for the day. So my first point was like researching things. Like you want to have like the ability to research everything and like find like the right articles,
without bias and
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to expand your knowledge and see other people's views as well.
Yeah, perfect. And then I led from research into creative jobs. So like I believe that everybody has like a passion, and I feel like there's a lot more opportunity for these creative jobs, and I just think they're really interesting. Like Twitch and YouTube, like there's a lot of creators out there making money. Ninja
makes around 500 grand a month, I think.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I've seen a lot of people make like $5,000 on one stream for like 3 hours.
I remember there was this one guy I used to watch. Sorry to go on like a tangent here, but like I remember I was watching. I don't even remember what his name was. It was like one of the biggest guys at the time though, and like it's like every minute he was getting a donation. It was like crazy, and he had like a $5 limit, so you have to donate $5 at the minimum, and then subscriptions. And I'm like, dude, this guy must make so much money.
Yeah,
it's cool that he can do whatever
they
he
make
likes.
a lot of money for
That's
sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so definitely research without bias, or just try to find both sides of the argument.
Yep,
and
jobs.
Go to creative jobs and start looking. I just recommend starting to look into like things like that, like producing music, whatever you like. Like if you were like I'm a band member, I was a past band member, and I've been like looking into like just like doing musical things for fun, like taking classes and stuff like that at college that has to do with music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just look for creative ways to like be innovative with the things that you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I led into self-talk during the day. Just make sure that you are talking to yourself positively, and make sure that you're not listening to yourself instead of talking to yourself, and hearing all these negative thoughts when you could just be telling yourself to look at things in a different light.
Yep, and also it's important to celebrate like little victories. I think.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great way to help your self-talk. Just celebrate like the little things that happen in your day that go towards what you want to do later in life.
Because it's easy just to brush off like a compliment if someone gives you, if you did a really good job working on something, but you should just take that,
Yeah.
and really like appreciate that and understand that you did a good job on something, instead of just blowing it off and being like, it was okay, right? I mean,
So yep, do all that and just take it and do it.
Do it.
And then also I recommend, I just want to finish up with the point of I think that we all should be more like outgoing, like as just a people, because there's a lot of people that'll just go to their classes and just be dead silent during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm definitely one of those people.
Exposed.
But yeah, I've been practicing talking to more people. I mean, I think it's important that we all try to become like leaders in our communities and like our society, like and doing like through our creative jobs, like whatever we want to do, like we want to become the example. And you're not going to do that if you can't make connections with people.
Yeah, I think
you have to be able to do that.
Especially like in college, is one of the best things about college is like making those connections with people later in life.
That's like the best part about college.
Mm-hmm.
I actually personally love the tuition side of college, but that's just myself. I love giving money to people.
I like just paying for books, and then like you have to get rid of them at the next semester. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, that's actually really
I'm excited
cool.
for that. That's probably my favorite part.
So we're listening to ourselves right now instead of talking to ourselves.
We are.
Yeah. But so yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Obviously nobody's going to be perfect with it though. Just to reiterate, all of these things that we're talking about, nobody is going to just get right on with it. Mm-hmm. Nobody does that. I'm still working on it. Kevin's still working on it. Obviously, yeah. Okay, so Kevin perfected it. No, people. I've talked to many people, many like mentors that I've had.
I've traveled many lands.
Shut up. I've talked to many people like that are a lot older than me.
A lot older.
A lot.
I'm sorry, I'm being an idiot.
No, I've talked to many people that are older than me, and they've all said the same thing, that they're still trying to figure out who they are and how they can best like serve like their community, how they can best serve themselves and their families. Yeah, so like obviously you're not going to be perfect to start with it, and like we just really want to push, like even though that you're not going to be perfect with it, start celebrating the small victories, start talking to yourself, start researching more. And just try to bring everything together so you can be as put together as possible, because you're never going to be perfectly put together.
Yep, and also I think when you were talking about like you're learning from older people, I think it's important that you realize that like once you're like into adulthood, you can still learn. It's not like you're just done.
I know,
You know,
a
I
lot
think
of
a lot
people
of people
settle for like things, but there's so many people that I've seen like change big things just because they needed to or they wanted to.
Yeah.
Like my parents are both really good at it, and they've changed like pretty big things, and I've seen it like with my own eyes, and they're amazing people. They've done a lot of things, too many things to count, too many. It's just insane. My parents are awesome. Like I've been very, very lucky. I've gotten very lucky with the family that I was born into. My brother as well. He's been very, very inspiring. My entire family, great people. Get to know them if you want. Their links are in the description below to their social media. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I just want to end on that note that we should all try to be more outgoing and learn more. Learn more. Talk to yourself more. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate all our viewers that have been returning. We've been trying to gain a crowd, but those consistent
we know it's gonna take
viewers,
time.
it's really like I love that we have these consistent viewers.
It really does mean a lot to us that like there's people that tune in whenever they see a new video posted, and like even if you don't listen to the whole thing, right? It's just like the thought counts.
Yeah.
You know, we do.
Yeah, we really appreciate all of you guys that are checking us out and giving us a chance.
Yeah.
And if you like us,
make sure
tell others.
Yes. Make sure to share us, and go ahead and check out our Twitter. It is at @OffTheTop7.
We'll leave all our updates on there.
Yep.
For big
post
stuff,
for new episodes,
small stuff,
Apple Podcast stuff.
Yeah.
YouTube.
We're gonna actually get to work on the Apple Podcast stuff right now. So yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
All right. Peace.